That's cool. All right, and Wilson, welcome back. How's it going?
Okay, I'm fine. Let's go
Okay.
to another class. Okay.
Yeah,
But I
another class.
think I'm gonna change my name to my surname because I will be in how can I say in the first in the line because I'm always the last one.
Ah, yeah. Sorry. I try to like go from different sides, but it
No,
is
no,
hard.
no. The past two classes always the last one, and then the classes okay. But I'll change to Bolognese. That's my surname, so it'll be letter B.
Yeah, right at the
Okay.
beginning.
Kidding.
Okay. Yeah, no. All right, and Juliet, welcome back. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you.
Okay. Um, do you have any plans for the week? Anything that you're gonna be up to?
No, nothing exciting.
Okay.
Mm,
When is you had your you're writing an essay on groups or categories, kind of?
no teacher, actor network.
Yeah, right. How's that going?
It's going well, thanks.
Okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
Wilson, what about you? What are your plans for the week?
For next week, I think I'm going to fly to travel, maybe to Mexico.
Nice. We're in
Yes,
Mexico.
Mexico in Mexico City, and to
Cool.
stay there for 15 days maybe.
Wow, that is some time. Are you traveling for work or for pleasure?
For work for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um, okay.
and that's the
Yeah.
plan for the next week.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yes,
And okay, Adela, welcome to class. How's it going?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Doing well, thanks. How's your day?
Well, relax day, a relaxed day, a relaxing day.
Yeah, a relaxing day. Good. Okay. It's nice when Sundays are like that. Jose, how's it going?
Hello, Joshua. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. And you?
Doing well, thanks. Um, and Jose, what have you been up to today?
Uh, Today I had a lunch with my family. It was a normal Sunday.
Okay. Lunch with your family, normal Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's kind of what you had planned. Um, all right. And Ana Carolina, welcome to class. How's it going with you?
Hi, Joshua. Fine, thank you. It is the first class on Verbling.
For today?
There was no, yes, for today. There were no classes available.
Hmm. Sorry. Um, well, I'm glad to see you now. How has your day been other than not having any verbling?
It was a relaxing and raining day.
Okay, relaxing rainy day. Um, nice. And okay. Uh, also, Edson, how's it going?
Me fine, and you?
Nice, doing well. Welcome back. Any plans for the week, Edson?
Thank you. For the week?
Mm-hmm.
The same, like studying and practicing English and speaking with you in some classes and
Yeah.
other teachers as well.
Cool. Okay, good.
I'm improving
And
a lot with traveling.
yeah, practicing definitely helps a lot.
Yes, yes, that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. And Mohammed, welcome to class. Mohammed, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Okay.
Uh, uh, your name is Josh?
Joshua or Josh. You could
Joshua?
say either. Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
That's
too.
that's my first class in with you, but it's not my first class in Verbling.
Okay. Well,
And I'm very glad to see you and to join this amazing community. And I'm here to working on my accent. And I need to and I need your help in this
okay.
class.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I can help you a little bit with your accent. Yeah. Welcome to class. Where are you from, Mohammed?
I'm from Egypt.
Okay, from Egypt. And cool. What do you like to do for fun?
For fun. Actually, I give you the planes.
You do what?
I give you the planes. You have to choose, and I can do.
I'm confused. You give us the planes?
I mean, I give you that any recommendation from you. Any recommendation or any plans that I can go through.
Do I have any recommendations for your pronunciation yet?
No, you missed my point.
A little
Actually, I
bit.
have no plans right now, but I'm working on my accent for my business, as I'm working as an accountant.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean English for fun, as
Okay.
I'm just take a plans from you or recommendation from you.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so okay. All right. Yeah, and we'll get yeah. Okay. And also Ahmed, welcome to class. How's it going?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Everything with me is okay.
Okay. Yeah, nice. And where Ahmed? Ahmed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Ooh, not really. Can you raise the volume a little bit?
Does it work now?
A little bit louder.
I know. I have to change my headset.
Yeah.
Obviously, I will change it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to you in a second. Let's get started with this story so we can hopefully finish it. It's an interesting little story. Got a lot. And I actually can't believe there's no title. So it's called Good People by David Foster Wallace. And let's start with Wilson. Can you read the title and the first paragraph?
Yes, Good People, David Foster Wallace. And the first paragraph, it's a big one. Huh? Okay. They were up on a picnic table at the park by the lake, by the edge of the lake, which with part of a downed tree in the shallows, half hidden by the bank. Lane A. Dean Jr. And his girlfriend, both in blue jeans and button-up shirts, they sat up on the table's top portion and had their shoes on the bench part that people sat on the picnic or fellowship together in carefree times. They'd gone to different high schools but the same junior college, where they had met in campus ministries. It was springtime and the park's grass was very green and the air suffused with honeysuckle and lilac both, which was almost too much. There were bees, and the angle of the sun made the water of the shallows look dark. There had been more storms than weak, with some downed trees and the sound of chainsaws, and up at the Downs, his parents' trees. Wow, I found it difficult.
It's a tough one.
Yes.
Sat on to picnic.
Sat on to picnic.
Yeah, the people sat on to picnic. Suffused.
Suffused.
Yeah, suffused with honeysuckle and lilacs.
Lilacs.
There had been more storms that week.
There had been more storms that week.
All up and down.
All up and down.
Yeah. So
My problem was the intonation because the sentences are too much long, and then I didn't know how to stress the word. Well, okay, but was done.
yeah. Okay. And yeah, really well done. Okay. Questions? Does anybody have any questions?
A lot.
Okay.
I don't know the meaning of down. I forgot down the tree.
They fell.
Mercy, teacher.
Fallen
I
trees?
forgot. Yes. Suffused. Honeysuckle.
Full.
Uh,
Honeysuckle is like a type of flower. So honeysuckle and lilacs are types of flowers, types of scent.
okay. And down. I forgot as well.
Bound is fallen, so fallen tree.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I have one bench on the third sentence. The bench at the last, the final of the sentence. The
Okay,
bench.
so a bench is just, it's like a seat. It's a long seat where people sit. So really,
Shoes on the bench.
yeah, a bench is literally just looks like kind of that. Just a flat seat and it's got legs. So that would be a bench. Heidi, what was your question?
No, it's okay.
Well, I mean, no, if you have a question, for sure. What's your question?
No, it's enough.
Okay.
I have one more.
Yep.
Fellowship as a verb. It means to hang out or something like that.
Gate posture.
Yeah. This is actually a good question. They sat on the tabletop portion and she's on the bench. Part that people sat on to picnic, or I think for fellowship. I'm not sure why it's not there. It might be just typographical error. It's like, yeah, for companionship, to be with somebody else. Yeah, but good question. That is an awkward sounding sentence. Okay. And Mohammed, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. From their postures?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Their postures on the panic table were both the same forward kind, with their shoulders rounded and elbows on their knees. In this position, the girl rocked slightly and once put her face in her hands, but she was not crying. Lan was very still and immobile, and looking past the bank at the downed tree in the shallow, and its poles and its pole of exposed roots going all directions, and the trees, clouded branches, all having the water. The only other individual nearby was a dozen spaced tables away, by himself, standing upright, looking at the torn up hole in the ground there, where the tree had gone over.
Okay. Let's look at this last sentence. Looking at the torn up hole in the ground there where the tree had gone over. Looking at the torn up hole in the ground there where the tree had gone over.
Okay, but where's
Just repeat it.
Looking at the torn up hole in the ground there where the tree had gone over?
Yeah, nice. Just the intonation of that sentence, it's a little bit tricky because the way that he writes is really conversational. So in the ground there is really conversational, and it's not generally how we would write in English. So you'll find a lot of things like that. This is like a really conversationally written piece. Immobile. Can you repeat immobile?
Immobile?
Yeah, immobile. And forward.
Forward.
And picnic.
Picnic?
Yeah, picnic.
Okay, but what is the meaning of immobile?
Immobile, it's not moving. So if you're immobile, you can't move, really.
Yeah. Like mobilization?
Yeah, so it's the opposite. So in
yeah.
is a negative
Yeah.
prefix. Yeah. Other questions?
Up to now.
Until now.
Until now.
You said up to.
No. I said up to now. Up to now. Up to now, there is no question.
Okay. No questions. Okay. And good. Yeah. Jose, can you read the next bit?
Okay. It was
Jose?
still early.
Okay,
Oh.
Joshua.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
It was still early, yet all the shadows wheeling right and sorting. The girl wore a thin old check cotton shirt with pale-colored snaps, with the long sleeve down, and always smelled very good and clean, like someone you could trust and care about even if you weren't in love. Landon had liked the smell of her right away. His mother called her down to earth and liked her. Thought he was good people. You could tell. She made this evident in little ways. The shadows lapped from different directions at the tree, as if almost teething on it. Sometimes, when alone and thinking or struggling to turn a matter over to Jesus Christ in prayer, he would find himself putting his fist in his palm and turning it slightly, as if still playing and pounding his glove to stay sharp and alert in center.
Yeah, as if still playing and pounding his glove to stay sharp and alert in center.
It is still as if still playing and pounding his glove to stay sharp and alert in center.
Yeah, and slightly? Slightly?
Slightly.
Okay, good. Slightly good pronunciation. Other than that, really well done. Down to earth. Does anybody know that expression?
I think I know. Down to earth is someone who is kind of realistic.
Yeah, exactly. When somebody's realistic and not excessive or overly, emotional or dramatic, they're down to earth. Exactly. When something laps, water generally laps at things. It's kind of like a dog lapping is licking, but the water lapping, it's like making waves at something. So what we're seeing here is the shallow water making waves from all different directions at the T, towards the T. So waves are coming towards the tree, or even away from the tree, really, from all different directions, almost as if they're like chewing on it. And yeah, these two people are religious. We got this before. They were like in ministry. That's where they met. Pounding his glove, pounding his fist in his glove. So he's a baseball player. So a baseball player, instead of using the ball in your glove, you use your fist to get ready to catch the ball. If you are like familiar with baseball, Wilson. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Other questions?
Did you say that pounding is like swinging?
Pounding is like swinging?
Yes.
Pounding is like hitting.
Hitting. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And good. Let's have Heidi. Can you read the next little paragraph?
He did not do this now. It would be cruel and indecent to do this now. The older individual stood beside his picnic table. He was at it, but not sitting, and looked also out of place in a suit coat or a jacket, and the kind of man's hat Ryan's grandfather wore in photos as a young insurance man. He appeared to be looking across the lake. If he moved, Lane didn't see it. He looked more like a picture than a man. There were not any ducks in view. One thing Lane did was reassure her again that he'd go with her and be there with her.
Good. Maybe one more sentence.
It was one of the few safe or decent things he could really say.
Yeah. Okay, cruel and indecent.
Cruel?
Yeah, cruel and indecent.
Indecent.
Perfect. Okay, well done. Questions here? Okay. Giulietta, can you read the next bit?
The second time he said it again. Now she shook her head and laughed in an unhappy way that was more just air out of her nose. Her real laugh was different. Where he'd be was the waiting room, she said, that he'd be thinking about her and feeling bad for her, she knew, but he couldn't be in there with her. This was so obviously true that he felt like a ninny that he'd kept on about it, and now knew what she had thought every time he went and said it. It hadn't brought her comfort or eased the burden at all. The worse he felt, the stiller he sat. The whole thing felt balanced on a knife or wire. If he moved to put his arm up or touch her, the whole thing could tip over.
Nice. Really good reading. A ninny is like a fool, somebody who's like childish and foolish. Yeah, kind of stupid as well. Stiller is like with less movement. He felt like the less he moved. So the stiller he sat, it means the less he moved. So it's just more still. Oop, more still. Stiller. No other questions, it looks like? Really good pronunciation, Giulietta.
Is it
Huh?
means to relieve?
Eased, yeah, to relieve her burden. So it didn't bring her comfort or relieve her burden, make it easier or less weighty. Good. And can you read the next two little paragraphs, Anna Carolina?
He hated himself for sitting so frozen. He couldn't almost visualize himself tiptoeing past something explosive. A big, stupid-looking tiptoe, like in a cartoon. The whole last Black Week had been this way, and it was wrong. He knew it was wrong, knew something was required of him that was not this terrible frozen care and caution. But he pretended to himself that he did not know what it was that was required. He pretended it had no name. He pretended that not saying aloud what he knew to be right and true was for her sake, was for the sake of her needs and feelings. He also worked dock and routing at UPS on top of school, but had tried to get the day off after they'd decided together.
Yeah. Okay. Worked dock and routing. Good pronunciation of routing, by the way. So dock is where you like put packages onto the trucks. Generally, if you're like on the dock of something with shipping, yeah, you're putting the packages onto the trucks, and routing is you're like planning where those packages go. So it's UPS, United Parcel Service. So it's just a shipping company in the U.S. International too. But that's what that is, Wilson. Required, Anna Carolina, required.
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 Okay. Required.
Good. Okay. And let's have Adela, can you read the next bit?
Okay, 2 days before he had awakened very early and tried to pry but couldn't not. He was freezing more and more solid, he felt like, but he had not thought on his father of the blank frostner on his father, even in charge, which had once filled him with such pity. This was the truth. Lane Dean through. Lane Dean Junior felt sun on one arm as he pictured in his mind an image of himself on a train, waving mechanically to something that got smaller and smaller as a train pulled away. His father and his mother's father had the same birthday, a Cancer. Sherry's hair was colored in almost coral blonde, very clean, the skin though her central part pink in the sunlight.
Okay. Truth.
Truth.
Truth. Through.
True.
Good. And hair.
Hair.
Okay. Good. Questions so far? Any questions?
Yes, Joshua. I didn't know that we could use birthday this way.
The same birthday? A Cancer?
Like a disease. You know,
We have
it's
different.
there.
Zodiac. It's the zodiac.
The
Yeah.
zodiac.
The zodiac sign.
My
Yes.
gosh, I misunderstood. Thank you.
No
Oh
worries.
my gosh. No, I feel so dumb now.
No worries. It's one of those things. Is reading another language is really difficult. Don't feel dumb at all. Other questions? Okay. And let's have Wilson. Can you read the next two little paragraphs?
Date? Okay, they'd sat here long enough that only their right side was shaded now. He could look at her head, but not at her. Different parts of him felt unconnected to each other. She was smarter than him, and they both knew it. It wasn't just school. Lane Dean was in accounting and business and did it all right. He was hanging in there. She was a year older, 20, but it was also more. She had always seemed to Lane to be on good terms with her life, in a way that age could not account for. His mother had put it that she knew what it is she wanted, which was nursing and not an easy program at Peoria Junior College. And and plus she worked hostessing at the Embers and had bought her own car. She was serious in a way Laney liked.
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 Good.
Okay.
Questions here? Okay. So again, we're still sitting on the bench next to the lake with a boy and his girlfriend. And she is named Sherry. Yeah, Sherry. And he's Lane Dean. And she's smarter than him is kind of what we've got so far. Mohammed, can you read the next two paragraphs? Starting here. Mohammed? Mohammed, your microphone is muted at the moment. So there's a button that should be close to the top of this page that will allow you to unmute your microphone.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Nice.
Did you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries.
It starts with she.
Yes.
That's right?
Mhm.
Okay. She had a cousin that died when she was 13, 14, that she would love, that
She'd loved.
she'd loved, and being close with. She only talked about it. That's once. She liked her smell and her downly arms, and the way she exclaimed when something made her laugh. He had liked just being with her and talking to her. She was serious in her faith and various in a way that Lan had liked and now, sitting here with her on the table, found himself afraid of. This was an awful thing. He was starting to believe that he might not be serious in his faith. He
Nice.
might. Okay.
Yeah, let's stop there. That was good. He was starting to believe that he might not be serious in his faith. Can you repeat that sentence one more time?
Okay. He was starting to believe that he might not be serious in his faith.
Nice. Good. Really nice job, Mohammed. Jose, can you read the next two bits and tell you when to stop?
Okay. He might be somewhat of hypocrite.
Sorry, Mohammed. Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we go on.
Okay. Did you mean repeat the last line that I
No.
already translated?
No. You did a nice job with that. We were gonna move on to Jose.
Okay.
Mohammed.
I'm
So
sorry
yeah.
for interruption.
No worries. Don't be sorry at all. You're doing fine. Wilson, downy arms. Like down is kind of a light hair on her arms. So she's got a really fine hair on her arms is what he's talking about there. And
Okay.
Jose, can you read the next part?
Yes. Okay. He might be somewhat of a hypocrite, like the Assyrians in Isaiah, which will be a far graver sin than the appointment. He had decided he believed this. He was desperate to be good people, to still be able to feel he was good. He rarely before now had thought of damnation and hell. That part of it didn't speak to his spirit, and in worship services he more just turned himself out and tolerated hell when it came up. The same way you tolerate the job you've got to have to save up for what it is you want. Her tennis shoes had little things dawdled on them from sitting in her class lectures. He stayed looking down like that, little notes or reading assignments in her neat round hand on the rubber elements around the sneaker's rim.
Okay, nice. He was desperate.
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 Tolerated.
Tolerated. Tolerate.
Yeah, tolerated.
Tolerate.
A far graver sin is something that's like yeah, Wilson, a far graver sin is something that is like a much more like a much worse thing that you've done bad. Is a far graver sin.
What is graver? Only the word graver is what?
It's more serious. So something that is grave is serious.
Graver. Oh, okay. Graver. Okay, understood.
Yeah. And doodled is drawn. So if you're just like drawing almost mindlessly, you're doodling. You're just kind of drawing. Damnation is when you're sent to hell. So it's like eternal suffering in religion is damnation. Any other questions? I think we're good there. Did a nice job, Jose. Yes?
I have a question.
Mhm.
in the first paragraph about hypocrite. What does that mean?
Hypocrite.
Hypocrite?
Good question. Good memory too. A hypocrite is somebody who says something but does the other. So yeah,
Like he is specialized in a word,
like he's pardon?
like he has a special word or something special with the others one. Or
Not
what?
something special. If you're a hypocrite, you do the opposite of what you say. You think the opposite of what you say to believe. It's when you think one thing and do another, say one thing, do another. Yeah.
It's a bad habit.
It is
That's
not
right.
a good habit for sure. Yeah. So somebody
And-
who's fake for sure.
And what
Yeah.
about the like the Assyrian?
Like the
Assyrians?
Assyrians in Isaiah.
Assyrians? Assyrians
Yeah.
mean like
So
Syrian
it's
people?
yes, like the Assyrian people. We're talking about a biblical reference, and actually, I am not sure which biblical reference he's making. Probably in Isaiah, the Assyrians did something hypocritical. So they said one thing and they did another. Yeah.
What is
So he's just
Isaiah?
referencing. Isaiah is part of the Bible. It's yeah. So part of the Bible would be Isaiah.
Yeah,
So different
related to
authors.
yeah.
Huh?
It's related to Christians.
Yeah. So these, like, the crux of the story is that these two people are Christians, and he's trying to, like, kind of come to terms with his faith. Yeah.
And what does sin mean? Graver sin.
Sin is something that you do wrong. So it's like it's a moral problem that you have.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Like an example of a sin would be murder. Murder is a sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Also,
oh, yeah.
I think I watched a movie. It's called The Seventh Sense.
Yeah,
you know
the
it?
7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Okay. And I think we're with Heidi. Can you read the next 2 paragraphs? Sorry.
Can you make it a little bigger?
No. Not really. I mean, just because when it gets bigger,
Okay.
I can. Hold on. We can do. Sorry.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. I'll try. No. Laying again, looking now at her inclined head size barrette in the shape of blue ladybugs. The appointment was for afternoon, but when the doorbell had rung too early and his mother's called to him up the stairs, he had known, and a terrible kind of blankness had commenced falling through him. He told her that he did not know what to do, that he knew if he was a salesman of it and forced it upon her, that was often wrong. But he was trying to understand. They'd preyed on it and talked it through from every different angle. Lane said how sorry she knew he was, and that if he was wrong in believing they'd truly decided together when they decided to make the appointment that she should please tell him, because he thought he knew how she must have felt as it got closer and closer, and how she must be so scared. But that what he couldn't tell was if, I'm sorry, scroll up please, if it was more than that.
Yeah, and maybe read this next part.
He was totally still except for moving his mouth. It felt like She did not reply. That is
Okay.
very needed to.
I think. Sorry. Yeah, good. He's totally still except for moving his mouth. It felt like she did not reply. Inclined her head sides, berets.
Yeah, or adding the S, so it's very difficult for me. Head,
Yeah.
side, barrett.
Yeah, berets. Head sides, berets.
Head, sides, barrett.
Yeah, it's a beret. But good. And a beret is like a hair clip.
Uh-huh.
And then commenced is started.
Praised or praised?
Praised?
Praised? It's pronounced praise?
Berets. Berets.
Praise?
Berets.
Praise,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, berets.
Okay.
And any other questions?
Ladybugs, it's a special bug.
Yeah, a ladybug is it's just a red bug with black spots. It's like a little beetle. Kind of pretty.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. And Giulietta, can you read the next bit?
That if they needed to pray on it more and talk it through. That he was here. He was ready, he said. The appointment could get moved back. If she just said the word they would call and push it back to take more time to be sure in the decision. It was still so early in it. They both knew that, he said. This was true, that he felt this way, and yet he also knew he was also trying to say things that would get her to open up and say enough back that he could see her and read her heart and know what to say to get her to go through with it. He knew this without admitting to himself that this was what he wanted, for it would make him a hypocrite and liar.
Hypocrite. Good. Questions here. It's a bit complicated.
Why there is not an indefinite article before liar?
A hypocrite and liar. Again, it's the conversational way that this is written. It's a little bit tricky. It's written as though people are speaking. So when we're often listing things, we don't need to put an article in front of things that we're listing. So a hypocrite, a liar, a blah blah blah, and a something. So not before everything. We don't need an article if we're speaking. It would be better written. We'd say a hypocrite and a liar.
To describe the conversation mood.
Excuse me?
Hypocrite and liar, like we describe the conversation mood.
Describe how he would feel about himself.
Yes.
How he'd feel about himself.
Okay.
Yeah. So not necessarily the mood of the conversation. The conversation that they're having now is that they're not really having a conversation. We're getting a little bit of background on like how he feels. He wants to know what she's thinking. He wants to know like how she feels so that he could say enough back to get her to go through with this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit tough.
Yes. It is
That's
definitely tough. Tough? Yeah.
Yes. From what I get, this paragraph.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
I'm not sure what you mean, Mohammed.
I mean, from what I get it. From what I get this paragraph.
What do you get about it?
No, I'm just asking about this paragraph. From what I get this. From where you get this paragraph?
Like, where does it come from?
Yeah. It's so sophisticated.
It is a little bit sophisticated. Okay, so he's still talking to his girlfriend on the bench at the lake, and so it seems like she's come to his house early to get him for this date, so she picked him up early. They're still there. He realizes that she is uncomfortable with what they decided before. He says that the appointment can get moved back. They can change the time of the appointment. If she just says something, they can call and make sure that their decision is correct. It was still really early in whatever has happened. And he also knew he was trying to say things that would get her to open up and say enough back that he could see her and read her heart and know what to say to get her to go through with it. So he wants more information so he can convince her of something. He also doesn't want to admit to himself that he wants to convince her of something. He's trying not to be consciously aware of what he wants. He's just trying to do it unconsciously, kind of, because he feels guilty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
I got the point.
Okay. And I think Wilson just read. So, Mohammed, can you read the next part?
Okay.
Joshua.
Yeah. Oh, did I mix up? Sorry. Yeah, where were we?
I read it.
If you would like.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Julieta. Anna Carolita.
Hi, read them, Julieta.
Yep. Sorry. Can you read the next part? Sorry.
Okay, I don't.
Okay, so we're with he knew.
He knew in some looked up little part of him why it was that he'd gone to no one to open up and seek their life counsel. Not Pastor Stevie or their prayer partners at campus ministries, not his UPS friends or the spiritual counseling available through his parents' old church. But he did not know why Sherry herself had not gone to Pastor Stevie. He could not read her heart. She was blank and hidden. He so fervently... Should I stop?
Nope, keep going.
He so fervently wished it never happened. He felt like he knew now why it was a true sin and not just a leftover rule from past society. He felt like he had been brought low by it and humbled, and now did believe that the rules were there for a reason.
Okay, good. That sounds good. Really nice job with fervently.
Okay, thank you.
And so she was blank and hidden. So her face kind of hid what she was feeling, what she was thinking. Yeah, so having a blank face, you're not showing your emotions on your face. Also, he couldn't read her. He doesn't know what she's thinking. And humbled is made to be humble, so like brought low, I guess. You know, so if you're not humble, you have like a really high impression of yourself, a really high opinion of yourself. And if you're humble, you don't think that you're the best. You see other people well, kind of. Does that make sense, Wilson? This idea of being humble?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And, okay. Let's have Adela, can you read the next little paragraph?
Yes, that the rules were concerned with him personally as an individual. He promised God he had learned his lesson. But what if that too was a hollow promise from a hypocrite who repented only after, who promised submission, but really only want a reprieve? He might not even know his own heart or be able to read and know himself. He kept thinking also of I, Timothy, and Hypocrite, therein who disputeth over words. He felt a terrible inner resistance, but could not feel what is was that it resisted. This was the truth.
Okay, good. Let's look at hypocrite.
Hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Yeah, hypocrite.
Hypocrite. Okay.
Repented.
Repented. Wanted.
Yeah, wanted.
Reprieve.
Reprieve.
Reprieve. Okay.
And
Inner.
inner.
Inner. Okay.
Disputeth is, it's an old word, obviously biblical. So it's coming from Timothy 1 or 1 Timothy. Yeah, so it's like disputes over words. It's like oftentimes when you get that like really old English, you'll add that th, disputeth.
Yes, it's a strange. The th.
Yeah.
It's a dispute, no?
Yeah, one who fights over words, fights,
Yeah,
disputes. Yes. Okay. And good. Any other questions?
Okay, I have a question about the meaning of repented. Is it meaning the regret on that someone regret on that doing something in the past?
Yes. If you're repenting, you're like trying to make up for doing something wrong in the past. Yes.
Okay, and also what is about reprieve?
A reprieve.
Reprieve?
Yeah. It's like if you get a break from something, it's a reprieve. So if you're doing something and it's like really, really hard, you're taking a break from it. Would be getting a reprieve.
Okay.
And
submission?
Any other question? Submission? It's like like going below somebody else. If you're submitting to them, you allow somebody else or something else to be over you. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Resisted?
Resisted. It's when you put up a fight against something. When you're like fighting
like
against.
resist, yeah.
Yeah.
It's resist?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
past tense. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. And Wilson, can you read the next part?
All the different angles and ways they had come at the decision together did not even include the word, for had he once said it, avowed that he did not love her, loved Sheriff Fisher, then it all would have been transformed. It would not be a different stance or angle, but a different in the very thing they were praying and deciding on together. Sometimes they had prayed together over the phone in a
Sorry, hold on. Go ahead.
in a kind of half code in case anybody accidentally picked up the extension. She continued to sit as if thinking, in the pose of thinking, like that one statue. They were right up next to each other on the table. He was looking over past She was looking over past her at the tree in the water, but he could not say he did. It was not true.
Yeah, he could not say he did. He could not say he loved her. If we go back to here.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounded good. Really nice job. Statue.
Statue of Liberty. Statue. Okay.
Yeah, statue. Okay. Questions?
Avowed. Avowed is related to vowel. Avowed.
Yes. If you avow something, it's like you swear it, you promise it, kind of. So they've talked about this thing, this decision a lot, but it never included the word he loved her. Even though he had once said it in the past, he swore that he did love her. But like if he said it again, everything would have changed. It would have like changed the whole situation. Yeah, and that's kind of what they're talking about here. Muhammad, can you read the next little paragraph?
Okay. But neither did he ever open up and tell her straight out he didn't love her. This might be his lie by omission. This might be the frozen resistance, were he to look right at her and tell her he didn't. She would keep the appointment and go. She knows this. Something in him, though, some terrible weakness or lack of values, couldn't tell her. It felt like a muscle he didn't have. He didn't know why. He just couldn't do it, or even pray to do it. She believed he was good, serious in his values.
Yeah, maybe read the next little sentence as well.
Okay, part of him seemed willing to more or less about lie to someone with that kind of faith and trust. And what did that make him?
Yeah, part of him seemed willing to more or less just lie to someone with that kind of faith and trust. So just lie, or just about to lie, sorry.
What does that mean?
So part of him seemed willing to more or less just about lie. So it's, again, really conversational. The idea that he is almost willing. He's not quite. Yeah. He's almost willing to almost lie. He's like close to both of those things. So again, it's a roundabout way of saying he's almost willing to lie to somebody about something like this.
Has he insisted to lie? He's willing to lie?
He's almost willing to lie.
Yeah.
But he's not quite. He can't quite do it.
Yeah.
And he's wondering what it makes him.
Like something in his Venus.
Yeah. We are not going to be able to finish. There's a bit more, so maybe like 2 pages more. Unfortunately, is a little bit slower than I anticipated. Sorry. If you guys look online, it's called Good People. I do have another class after this, so I can't stick around and finish the story. But yeah, Good People by David Foster Wallace, if you are interested in finishing it. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully you enjoyed what we read.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you. Bye-bye, Joshua.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.